Welcome to the strange and mysterious world with William and Lee.
Welcome to season 3, episode 8 of Strange and Mysterious World. Tonight we're going to be chatting about the mysteries of the Antarctic, which is actually more conspiracy of the Antarctic, and fasting for 10 days. Is it worth it? We'll soon find out. All right, yeah. So we'll chat about that fasting one soon, but we're going to start up with the Antarctic conspiracy. Okay, so back in the early 1900s, there was a guy by the name of Admiral E. Byrd. I don't know if you've heard of him, William. He was actually one of the youngest admirals at that time. He was the youngest admiral ever to reach that rank at 41, because normally they're in their 50s and 60s when they get in that stuff. So at 41, he reached admiral. He received medals of honor, Navy crosses, distinguished flying crosses. This oak was he was the most decorated officer as well in the US. Okay, so this oak was not a pleb. He knew what he was doing. He was an explorer. Okay, so he used to love. I mean, he was to go out to the North Pole. He was the first oak to fly to the North Pole. He was the first oak to do a transatlantic flight from the US to France. He crash landed in Normandy, but he managed to get to France. Okay. And obviously his expeditions in the Antarctic, he did quite a few expeditions in the Antarctic. And all of this, I mean, he earned 3 ticker tape parades. So he was like really, I mean, the people saw this oak as almost like another Indiana Jones, just a military type. You know what I mean? That type of thing, that type of explorer. And his first expedition to the Antarctic was in 1928. Okay. He went across there. He stayed there for a couple of months. It was there just more to do topography, photos, those kind of things. It was he paid for that himself. And then again in 1933 to 1935, he went again on another expedition to the Antarctic. And again, same thing. They were mapping out the Antarctic. They found there was quite a lot of resources. There's coal there was uranium, there's all sorts of stuff in the Antarctic, which they were. So America at that stage, no one was really that keen to get there, but he was finding all of these things. And he almost died actually on that second expedition of carbon monoxide poisoning. So I think he had he had a fire. You remember we discussed this story about the Sangomas and the what is that entity that runs around?
The Tokolos.
Tokolos. And how people were actually dying. It was carbon monoxide poisoning because of fires in the rooms. So he had a fire in his room and he almost died of carbon monoxide poisoning. So he luckily got out of that one. From 1935, nothing kind of happened from there on in with these expeditions up into that stage. But then I don't know if you remember what happened at that time, at the other side of the world. Germany was now, Hitler was in charge, and he was starting to prepare for war in 1938. Okay. But at the same time in 1938, I don't know if you remember, if you recall, he was quite involved with a society called the Tool Society. Okay.
No, I don't remember that now.
Yeah, the Tool Society, these guys, they kind of believed, they had like weird beliefs, but one of their beliefs was that there was some sort of superhumans or some sort of advanced civilization that were living underground. Okay. And I thought it's actually quite a nice podcast to do this one because we just chatted to Bibu about the ant people and about people living underground. So I thought this would actually work out quite nice because their beliefs that there were people in advanced civilizations that lived underground and that the entrance to this underground was in the Antarctic. Okay. So in September of 1938, the Tool Society, with obviously a whole lot of military guys, had an expedition, a secret expedition to the Antarctic. Okay, and apparently what they found there was something called the Antarctic Oasis, where there's a 300 square mile area of green vegetation, trees, animals. It was phenomenal. And these guys opened up a base called 211. So it was a very secretive base, and apparently this is now where they open up. And the conspiracy theory goes that there were aliens there. They got involved with the aliens. The aliens gave them technologies and all sorts of stuff. which then went back to Germany. So remember now, this is in 1938. Okay. So in 1938, something else happened in Germany. The Germans were already starting to do their nuclear research, atomic research. This is way, way, way before the Americans even started thinking about it. Because you must remember now, Operation Paperclip was when the Americans went and took the Germans, scientists brought them back out, and then they invented the atomic bomb. But at this stage,
as well.
yeah. So can you imagine now if Germany had carried on for another 2 years, we would be in a very different world. This world today would be so, so different, dude. So, but anyway, so they
I
had
know you already
stopped
speaking
their
German.
that we would be. They stopped their nuclear program, and they started doing advanced machinery and weaponry. There was a program that these guys used. I'm trying to remember the name now. It was like a weird program that these guys had, but they developed the first jet engines. The one was called the ME-62, the Horton 229, and the V1 and the V2 bomber. The V2 bomber kind of came a little bit later, but they started developing all this technology, and this is also where Hitler's UFOs started coming. I don't know if you remember seeing those old videos where the people where they were trying to develop discs that were starting to hover and they were moving around from side to side.
And the bell, remember the bell, didn't they?
Yeah, the Glocken, yeah, the bell.
Glocken.
So all this stuff was starting to develop in Germany. So now my conspiracy mind goes to, okay, so if these guys landed up going in 1938 to Antarctic, they found something in Antarctic, something was going on. They managed to get it back. They started to develop. Okay, because it was actually a quick succession that they started getting these things coming right. And like I said earlier, had these V2 bombers and the ME-262s, had these things been going for a couple of years, the war would have been different, dude. Because the Spitfire against these jet engines was like a given. They would have lost completely, Britain and America. But luckily it didn't carry on. So the advanced technology was at a rapid pace. It was coming through. Okay. And then obviously the Americans came in, things it kind of went to shit for the Germans. But now what had happened was, as soon as the war had ended, there were theories that Hitler had not died and he had actually gone to the Antarctic. Okay. To their
South
base
America. There was like a
there was
in South America.
there was Argentina, and then but there were theories, conspiracy theories that he landed up going to the Antarctica. Okay.
Yeah.
But now the thing is, so now all of a sudden the Americans, they get worried. They're like, oh shit, if this oak has landed up going to the Antarctic, okay, this is close to America, but I mean it's like right on the tip. The one section is right on the tip of freaking South America. So your enemy is like very close to you. So they then decide to send Admiral Byrd to the Antarctic for Operation High Jump. Now, Operation High Jump
yes,
happened in 1946. Okay. Now the government say, okay, Operation High Jump. The reason why we did that is because obviously now with us beating Germany, our next aggressor is Russia. We might have to fight Russia, and it might be over ice. So we want to go and test our equipment, which sounds good. I mean, sure, you got to go and test some equipment. You want to go and test a couple of planes. You want to go and see if your weapons can work, and you want to try and better it, especially in those terrible conditions. Because you must remember, the Arctic it gets to freaking minus 100s, dude. It's like so cold. So the idea was to go and test the stuff and go and, you know what I mean, try and get it to work in those conditions. So, but the problem is, this is the problem. Okay. Operation High Jump, they sent 14 ships, 33 aircrafts, 4,700 troops, 2 warships, and a sub to go and test a couple of equipment. Why the hell would you send? You sent an army,
a Subway
dude.
sandwich.
Yeah, you've sent an army. You've sent an army to the Antarctic for what? So this is why now the conspiracy theory starts to almost match up to they thinking that Hitler might be there or something else is going on there. Okay. So now they sent all these oaks, but this thing, it was supposed to take 6 to 8 months of testing and, but they ran out of there in 40 days. They like all left in a hurry. And the American government said, oh, no, no, the reason why we left is because the weather was turning and it was becoming terrible. The guys couldn't cope. So we left. But what was the idea about taking your people there? What was the reason? It was to test your equipment in the worst conditions. They were in summer, dude. It was the best conditions in the Arctic.
Yeah, and if they said it was bad conditions, then it's been
Then you
like,
want to
okay, well,
test it in the bad
now you got it.
conditions.
Now you got to test it now.
Exactly.
Like you got the conditions.
That thing didn't hold up very well. But what actually happened? So obviously, Admiral Byrd, he came through and the people interviewed him, and he didn't say much. He spoke a little bit about whatever. But when he died, something happened. He had a diary, okay, that he had written, and on that last expedition, and the reason why they left so quickly, and according to this diary, he had been flying across in one of the expeditions, one of the routine flies, and he was talking to the world actually at that stage. He was on radio and they were saying what he was seeing in there's mountains, blah, blah, blah. He was cut off for 3 hours. There was missing communication. 3 hours. And in his diary, he actually writes what happened in the 3 hours. Okay. So he was saying he was now flying, and all of a sudden, what he was seeing below him, things started changing. It was almost like he almost lost control of his plane. Not that it crashed, but it was like somebody else was flying, almost like remote control. Okay. And the dials were turning. There was the navigational system was just swinging. He couldn't see where he was. It was like the sun was in the wrong direction. It was terrible. And he looked below and he saw greenery. And he looked and he saw there's a fucking woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoth. He took out binoculars to check. He took out binoculars to check. He said, "Fuck, it's a woolly mammoth." Okay.
But has he gone into like a different dimension or something?
No. So what had actually happened is somehow he's gone subterranean, because now all of a sudden there's a different light. The sun is not there. So he's in a subterranean thing, and there's discs that are flying beside him. But guess what's on the discs? These two discs that are guiding him in. Swastikas, dude. Okay.
But wait, are these the Hindu swastikas or the
the Hindu swastika and the Nazi ones are the same one. It's the same thing.
But what if it's a bunch of Hindus, like just in the flying saucers?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. In their Vimanas.
Yeah, it was a couple of Vimanas.
So
did it have a red thing behind it?
A red flag.
Yeah.
No. He just said this. He just saw the swastikas.
Oh, okay.
So now he gets force landed. Obviously, he's not landing. Whoever's controlling the plane lands it, and he sees these two bald people. They come and they start speaking German. Anyway, so they were friendly, and they said to him,
"You just said like, can you give me a bald egg?"
Yeah. So they were very friendly to him, and they kind of took him to meet whoever it was that he was supposed to see. He called them the Masters. And it's apparently these alien beings that live in subterranean Earth. They live underground. Okay. And they said to him, "Listen, dude, this is just in my how I say it, but they didn't say it in my language. They just said, listen, dude, you guys are playing around with technologies you don't know anything about. Okay. You've dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You do not know what you're doing. Stop your shit." Basically, is what they said, but in a nicer way. I'll just said it in a, you know what I mean, in a different language. But they would have said it in a nicer way. They just basically said to him, "Please just stop it, because you guys are causing havoc. You don't know what's going to happen."
But wait a second, he's like schooling like Byrd, but he's got these masters are schooling Byrd, but they got all the Nazis, like the most demonic people at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what did they say to them? Did they be like, "Okay, if you guys stop your nonsense, okay, cool, you guys." Have you learned, you guys cool? Okay, cool. You can come in and be like part of us. I mean,
yeah, maybe they were agreeing to their because maybe they were the first communications. These guys got to them first, made a deal with them first, and said, "Okay, listen, this is what we like. What do you want from us?" And they're kind of swapping, technologies. But apparently these guys knew who he was. So he then left after the 3 hours. He got back in the plane. They took him back out, and he managed to get control of the plane, and he landed. And I think that's all when they all just bolted. They all got out of there faster than you can say.
So that all happened in 3 hours.
That all happened in 3 hours. So that message came, he went back, and that's also why I think you've never had another nuclear bomb on another country. They might
But
have been
wait, but
testing
I
it, but
thought,
that might be, they've never dropped nuclear bombs. We've never had a World War III. We were supposed to have had this nuclear disaster
because those
because of the
guys spoke
threat.
to Byrd,
Because they threatened them. They said,
Colonel
listen,
Byrd.
if you do it, you eat shit. Just watch out.
So Colonel Byrd went back and he spoke to the president.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, this
Guys,
is what
watch
the
out. This is what's
this is
happening.
what the Nazi said to me with the masters.
Yeah, correct. So,
But wait, but I thought there was a whole fight and a whole shooting out. I thought they went
no,
there
no.
because I heard there was a whole battle and the sources like were shooting at them and they won and that's why they turned around and they went back because they got totally defeated from all of the Nazi sources.
No, there was no battle. They just left. They said they left because of where they turned bad, and there was no battle or anything.
Okay.
The Oaks left, but they left in a hurry.
And then also, I
In a
also
very-
heard another thing is that he went into the earth. He flew into this hole. He saw a
Yes.
hole there and he went in and he saw the. Is that what you're saying? That's what happened.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like-
They actually he didn't know where he was because he saw almost like a crystal city. Next thing, you look in the horizon and sees a crystal city. So obviously he went. That's why I think you know if you're looking on Google Maps, you can't actually see the middle of the Earth. I talk about the Antarctic and the Arctic, the North and South poles. You can't actually see the middle; it's blocked out. It's just and they say no. The reason for it is because the satellites don't go over that section. Bullshit, man. If you go and have a look, go afterwards. Go and have a look. Try and see if you can have a satellite image of the North Pole and the South Pole. You won't see it. So people are saying that the Earth is not round; it's actually got a hole right through it. And these guys are able to travel up and down between the North and South Pole like quickly. Anyway, that's just a theory, and the hollow Earth theory as well.
That's yeah.
You know,
It's kinda like flat Earth stuff.
do you know? No, not flat Earth. Hollow Earth. Flat Earth is a bullshit story. You know Edmund
This
Halley.
one sounds also crazy.
No. Edmund Halley, the guy from Halley's Comet, the guy that found Halley's Comet. He actually said in the 1600s that the Earth has got it's not completely hollow, but there are hollow pockets in Earth.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
That's actually sustain life, and it's got its own light source, it's got its own water, and we've already discovered stuff down that's things are living there that we had no idea would be able to live in those conditions. So he's saying that there's pockets, and it leads back now to the old Norse mythology. It leads back to the Greek mythology, where all these beings live under earth like Hades. You know what I mean? So there's always been discussions through the years and through the centuries of people living under the earth.
Yeah, I know, like how
Always,
Beavis
from the
is with
beginning.
the ants people and the gnomes
Exactly.
and that.
So that's why I thought this was actually pretty cool. And to end the story off with this whole Antarctic conspiracy, there was a guy by the name of James Forrestal. He was involved with Operation High Jump. He was the Secretary of Defense at the time. Okay. Now, he was one of these guys that were heavy into disclosure. He actually, apparently, there's a movie called The 11th Green. I think it was in 2020. It kind of outlines a story that he was on the verge of wanting to tell the people about the UFOs and the aliens and the technology from the Roswell crashes and those kind of things. So he's the one that actually came out and said, we want to tell the people. But what happened? What happens, Will? What happens when these things happen, especially in those days? He ended up going to a psychiatric hospital.
Okay, well, the Men in Black arrived and
That they do come. I'll tell you what happened with that now. He ended up going to a psychiatric hospital for depression. He started losing massive weight. Okay. But then he started getting into recovery. He was starting to recover. He was putting on a lot of weight. And the next minute he jumps from 16 floors, dead, killed himself.
Yes, like the guy from when they were doing those mind altering experiments, MK Ultra.
Yeah.
They also threw that guy out of the window and he wanted to expose it.
Now, the theory behind him dying, committing suicide, was somebody said that he was approached by two men in black. They gave him an ultimatum. They said two things. Either you watch your whole family die or you commit suicide. One of the two.
Wow. Jeez, I've never heard like the Men in Black being so ruthless. I mean, I heard about the government. Maybe it was the government Men in Black.
Yeah, it's the government Men in Black. Yeah, 100%. Without a doubt.
Because like, so they didn't have that gun, you know, the one that old Stephen Greer They pointed that gun at him that stopped his heart or gave him heart cancer or something. You remember that?
I do know there was no
Even
guns.
him and his team, they like fired this like thing to make his heart get cancer, and him and his team
Yeah,
got cancer, but he survived, and the other his partner died.
yeah.
They didn't have that at that time, huh?
No, not at that time. I think they were still in development. But yeah, so I mean, if you lock in the conspiracy theories and you lock in what was happening in Germany at the time, the things that were happening going forward, it makes sense. It's not like it's the Oaks are sucking their thumbs and trying and pulling things from the air. If you're looking at
Mm.
where the information is taking you, and then we lead right up to today where we've got all these not even theories anymore, because I mean Donald Trump is wanting to release the Roswell files and is releasing the JFK files, and there's a whole lot of stuff that's getting released.
Yeah,
So
do you see that JFK thing's coming along? Hey, they just had another
yeah,
thing in the yeah, I think it was not Congress, it was another where they have all the journalists there and somebody represents them, and this lady was saying, I forgot what her name is, but she was saying that yeah, they found out there is two shooters,
mm,
but they just want to get everything correct and right before they actually come out with it,
mm. I
before they
still think
release
it's
the
going to be a
files.
bullshit story. I don't think they're going to tell you the truth. But
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, uh, so things are moving on. That's actually pretty cool. If we find out this year that yes, aliens do exist, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem, much of a difference in our lives. I mean, we've believed it for such a long time. It'll just be nice to know,
Yeah.
okay, yes, whatever we've been
Yeah,
saying for the
everyone will
past
be
how many
like,
years, it's cool.
it'll be like crazy for the normies for like maybe a week, and then
2
they'll all have
weeks,
to just
yeah.
go. They'll go back to their 9 to 5 and be like, "Oh yeah, fuck, I gotta just make the paycheck. I got the bonds to pay and the fucking
Yeah,
I'm like
100%.
so much debt, and I got to sort that out." And then the fucking alien thing will be out of the window in no time
Yeah. I
because
think
we've
what would be quite nice is now when you start having ambassadors to certain planets or whatever, and you can go and visit, and you can go into their on board their starcrafts and whatever. That would be fascinating. Those type of things really fascinate me. If it comes to be that's the case, that's so fascinating. So, do you
these,
remember like V the series
yeah,
where they
yeah,
turn out to be the lizards that were child people?
yeah.
As long
That
as
thing
it's
was
not
ahead
like
of it.
that, dude.
That was ahead of its time. That
Yeah,
thing
way ahead of its time. Yeah, it was fantastic.
because yeah, so but then I mean we as South Africans like that are middle class South African, we can't even afford to trip to Italy, so we'll fucking never go to that thing.
No, but they do it for free, man. They say, no, come on board. And the next minute,
Yeah,
you're gone.
just
It's like, where the fuck are you?
yeah, you go there and you get the probe stuck up your bum, like Paul Whitley, and
Or you kick the oak's
uh,
helmet off and you can take your
you know what?
helmet off.
This is the thing. You know, when we interviewed Whitley, I wanted to ask him, right? I wanted
Yeah,
to just say, like, I mean, all due respect to what happened, because it's basically rape, you know. So, like, I don't
yeah,
want to make too much of a joke about it. But
yeah.
of the aliens, if I got abducted and they fucking came out with that silver that metal prodder that are going to stick up my bum,
Yeah.
I would just be like, whoa, guys, just hold on here a sec. You want me to jizz in this cup? I can just give me my phone, give me 10 minutes. I'll have whatever you want. No need to put that thing anywhere. I can give it to you like no problem. We don't have to go so extreme.
Yeah.
Like just give me 10 minutes and then you'll have everything you need and I can go home. But obviously,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Can you
Admiral,
imagine that, eh?
yeah,
Like
lucky I
aliens
didn't
like,
bring that
like
up when
what?
we were interviewing him.
Yeah, just you would have, yeah. I don't think you would have been too impressed. All right, changing the subject. Now we're going on to fasting for 10 days. Is it worth it? To our special guest, Will. Tell us, William. So you ended your fast today.
Yeah, interviewed today, this morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so you
10
so the
days.
only thing that you did for 10 days is literally drink water. Did you drink any
Yeah.
like coffee or
No, no,
beer,
no,
or
no.
did you have just water?
No beer. I mean, like I've been sober for 9 years. Like,
Yeah.
we,
That's right. That's right.
but the fucking
So it was just
beer, but
water.
that's you know how much carbs beer. Just water.
Water. Really?
Yeah, just
Fuck.
water
I
for
take
10
my hats off,
days.
dude. 10 days. Jesus, dude.
Yeah, 10 days, man.
Wow. Okay.
It's,
So is it worth it? So tell me from day one, what was the experience? When did you start feeling the hunger? When did it disappear? You start feeling lethargic? When was the energetic? What's the story? What was
well,
going on?
so, okay, so I started off, I was going to do a 7 day
Hmm.
because me and my brother-in-law, like sometimes we just do like a 7 day fast. Funny thing, the first time I did a 7 day fast, I was so addicted to coffee. And then when I did the 7 day fast, the first one I did, I didn't drink coffee for 7 days. And obviously
Yeah.
my body completely detoxed from everything. And then when I finished the fast, I was so excited. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. And I had that cup of coffee, Lee, and I'd never felt so much anxiety in my life. Almost had like a panic attack
Really?
because it was like I don't know
Coffee.
so then yeah, so I stopped caffeine. It was so scary. I actually stopped it for. It was actually great because I didn't drink coffee for ages after that.
Okay.
But it just shows like what that shit does to you, you know. So I've done a few 7-day fasts,
Mm.
and this time, yeah, I did the 7 and I just went another 3. Because like the first 3 to 4 days, no, actually 5 days, that's the most hectic because your body's like going into ketosis where it's just burning fat.
Mhm.
So I think if you have a ketone diet or a Banting diet before you start fasting, those few days can be better because that's the most hectic because there's I was just having mood swings and irritability and like discomfort and
I'm assuming
um,
you were hungry.
brain fog, yeah, and then hungry, yeah, hungry for the first 4 days is hungry. Well, actually, after the third day, it subsides. But by the seventh day,
No,
by
but
the
hold on,
sixth
hold
day,
on. So the first day, it's kind of okay. Second day, you're still like, yeah, it's probably got another problem. Third day, now you're feeling hungry. Now you just want to chow. So
no,
how
no,
you how you sleeping?
first day is hunger. Second
Yeah.
day, hunger. Third day, okay, now I'm not so hungry anymore.
Okay.
Then by the seventh day, or actually by the fifth day, it's like I don't have any hunger whatsoever. Can like go and sit with people eating or whatever. But
Really?
then the
But
sleep,
now, what about
this
sleeping? Could you sleep in the first couple of days when you were hungry, or was it like did you have
no,
a
it was actually
constant
it was fine
waking
until
up?
like the third or fourth day.
Yeah.
The funny thing was that I, like about around about the fourth or fifth day, I can't I don't remember, but I would go to bed at 10 and I would wake up exactly 2 hours to the dot. Like
Okay.
at 12 o'clock on the dot, I'd wake up.
Okay.
Like it was the weirdest thing. I'd look at my clock and I'm like, it's 12 o'clock, like on the dot. But like before I woke up, my dreams would just be looping, 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 but like of like some kind of thing I have kind of anxiety about. Just looping, looping,
What
looping.
you mean they're replaying?
Yeah, like I just go through the same dream
Same dream,
over and
really?
over and over and
Okay.
over again.
Okay, that's strange.
And
Yeah.
then I just wake up and I'm like, oh my God, but I'm so tired. You don't understand. Like I wake up and I'm fucking tired, but I can't sleep. And then my legs will feel funny, you know? And I'm like, and I always consult ChatGTP, but like I think
The
ChatGTP,
new doctor.
yeah, but I don't know. I think we shouldn't trust that fucker anymore because like he gave me some fucking weird shit and I tried it and I was like, no, no. Because
Yeah.
also the thing is, because I wanted to, because I was doing cold plunges every day, so I was thinking like, fuck,
With
I
the
want a cold
fast.
plunge. No, no, no. Before, I was doing cold plunges every
Yes,
day
yes.
for like
Yeah.
the last 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
I got the
Yeah.
freezer and everything. I've got five
Yeah.
degree water, and I do the Tumo breathing, and I jump in the cold plunge. So I
Yeah.
wanted to do. I didn't want to break that. So I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is like, "No, go for it. Fucking, it's the best thing when you because like when you get to day 3, your body starts eating all of the bad cells in your body. Like if there's any cancer cells that are there, any damaged cells, any like any cells that are damaged or toxic or bad for you, your body starts eating those cells.
Yeah,
That's why it's
really.
so bad. It's called
Okay.
auto something.
Okay.
So that's what's the main the benefit of the fast is because not only the detox, but it's also it resets your immune system and it also starts eating all the bad cell things in your body, like all the shit.
Okay.
So that's why it's like it's bringing your whole body back into balance, back into resetting it. So and also it's for longevity. If you want to live forever, but I mean, sometimes I'm just like, why the fuck would I do this to live forever? Because sometimes
Mm.
I'm just like, oh my God, just please take me now because I can't fucking take it anymore. But so I don't understand people that want to live forever. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, fuck it, I
It's like
just
you've
want
had
to.
enough. Oh, fuck it. Get out of here.
When people say because they want to live longer, I'm like, why the fuck do you want to fucking live
Yeah,
longer?
I don't want to live longer. No, no. Mm-mm.
So, so I wasn't doing it for living longer, but like, but just to feel healthier because like you're supposed to, obviously when you feel healthy, you're supposed to be happier.
Okay.
So, and also the thing is, what I realized was that food is like it's amazing how much I depend on food for my happiness. Because like I don't actually eat food for nutrition. It's just like something I'm like, oh, I want something nice now to make me feel good,
Almost
And I
like an
think
addiction.
yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if I'm sure we all like that, like but to a certain extent. But so
Well, dude,
it's
every
like,
time I get home, I open the cupboard to look for something to eat. There's nothing. I've got zero. I've got no chips. I've got no freaking peanuts, nothing. But I open the cupboard to look to see if there's anything. I'll come back an hour later, look to see if there's anything else.
that's a sign of insanity.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck, you know, you start like, come on, give me those peanuts, man.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Crisps.
It's a what the Tibetan monks, Tibetan they call a hungry ghost.
Yeah.
It's like a ghost inside you, or a spirit that you feed it whatever, like for it's like addiction, like
Yeah.
alcohol, whatever, but it doesn't never gets enough, so it just wants more and more and more.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just realized how much dependent on food I am just for my mood of being happy or whatever, and and also this whole thing about 3 meals a day. I mean, that's the biggest load of fucking bullshit. Like if somebody can fast for 10 days, and I mean people have done it for 20 days and 40 days or whatever. I mean, you don't need a meal 3 times a day. I mean, I get so irritated with my mother because she's always like, not my mother. Geez, this is a Freudian slip here. But like my daughter's mother, she's always like getting so angry because she's like, uh, you did not feed her properly while she was at your house. You didn't give her like the right breakfast and I want to say to her, like, geez, I've like, you can go for 10 days without eating. I'm sure if she just fucking has an apple for lunch, it's not going to be like, and also
Yeah.
she can tell me if she's hungry, I don't have
Yeah.
to like force feed the bloody kid. I mean, I'm sure that's because food's actually damaging, because food actually, your telemeters on, like how they measure your
Your
how
fingertips.
old you are,
Mm.
from your telemeters. Like if they're
Mm.
very short, then it means like even if you're 60, you could actually be 70 in your actually age of your body because of the telemeters be lower.
Okay.
So the food actually damages those telemeters, like the more you eat and everything. So
Okay.
actually, the less you eat, the more longevity, the better healthy you are.
Okay.
So anyway, so
So anyway,
by
you get these funny dreams. Day 3 or 4, you get these looping dreams.
oh yeah,
But
sorry,
then you say that
sorry to come.
disappears. You say that
Yeah, wait,
disappears.
no. So sorry, I was coming back to the. Yes, we went on a tangent. I went on a tangent there when you can see I'm still trying to recover because I've just broken my fast today. Now my body's like readjusting to the food thing, and it's like brains all over the place. But so I asked ChatGPT, shall I cold plunge? And it says yes, go for it. It's like it's the best. It's like telling me like, yeah, when you get into that state of autoplasy or whatever, where it starts eating the bad cells, it actually it enhances that, and also it'll do more fat burning because your brown tissue, it activates your brown fat, and that helps burn fat more, whatever. So the first 4 days, I was cold plunging in the fast, and it was fine. But I just got a bit worried. I thought, like, geez, okay, I'm getting really deep into the fast now. Let me just chill out on this cold plunge.
Mm.
So day 5, day 6, now I'm feeling so strong. By day 7, I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, like all the hunger's gone. I'm feeling like 100%. Like I went skateboarding like on day 5, and then by day 7, um, I'm feeling so good. I'm thinking like, geez, maybe I should do a cold plunge, but I still hold on. So, but then day 9, I'm feeling great. So I went and I had a cold plunge, dude. I fucking got out of that water and my body just crashed. I fucking went and lay on the bed and I slept for 2 hours, right? And then the next day, day 10, I was still recovering from that. So if I didn't do that fucking cold plunge, I would have been into day 10, no problem. Like, but then I woke up this morning, day 11, and then I was back to normal. I was feeling good, and I could have gone on, but I was so amped to eat something. Um, but it's so funny because the first 3 or 4 days, 4 to 5 days, it was like this extreme irritability, mood swings, like feeling like a bit low and like, oh, dude, I don't want to do anything, and not finding any enthusiasm, anything. But then the rest of the days, I mean, I've never done so much work in my life. Day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, I was just everything I was putting off forever. I was just in it. I was doing it. I got so much stuff done because also the thing is because I don't have this dependency on this food and like that making me happy or whatever. I actually had nothing to like make me happy. So I just put my head down and I just got lost in my work, and that also passed time and it made me feel good. So it's funny because it's obviously something inside of me, like a hungry ghost. That's it's
Subsided.
there's a no, it's like a something I need to fill this void, like of unhappiness
Okay.
or
Okay.
something.
It's
So
almost like
now,
you
if
get
I don't have
bored.
the food, now I'm filling it with work.
Mm. Mm.
And by the so so yeah, so the dreams, okay, so the dreams, like I started getting very vivid dreams by day like 6, and I had two such vivid dreams that I had, like, I was flying. It was like, yeah, the one was, I thought it was out of body experience because I felt myself coming out of the body, but then it was like hard. I couldn't look around or whatever, but I was like, oh, I'm out of my body, and then I was trying to do stuff in the room, but it was too dark, and then I eventually just thought, oh, fuck it, and I went back to my body. But it was more like a lucid dream. I don't think it was a real full out of body experience. And then the second one I had, I was dreaming, and then it was so vivid. I saw everything so vividly, and then I realized I was in the dream, and I was like, yes. And then I started like floating, and it was so lovely, the feeling of floating, and I kept on going up and up and up, and I carried on going up, and then I actually panicked because I thought, fuck, I've been fasting for so long, maybe I've died.
Yeah.
And I started worrying. I was like, oh my God, I've died. I'm actually going to heaven now. I shouldn't have fasted this long.
Well, you hope you go to heaven.
Yeah, it's funny. I always say, like, I've had enough, I want to die. But then when it actually happening, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to die. And then, so then I woke up, and but then this 2 o'clock thing happened every night from day 6 or something, 2 hour. Like, I mean, I go to bed at 10, I wake up at 12. And it always happened. And I'd feel so tired, but I couldn't go back to bed, and my legs were feeling weird. And ChatGTP is like saying, your electrolytes are, I mean, your electrolytes are imbalanced. Have half a teaspoon of salt, have potassium pill and magnesium. So like, and that's so funny. Every single thing I would ask ChatGPT, I'd be like, why am I coughing now? And I ask ChatGPT, I'm like, I'm on day 9 of my fast and I'm coughing. What's that? It's like, no, electrolyte balance, have half a teaspoon of salt. Oh, my legs are feeling sore. Ah, electrolyte imbalance, have a teaspoon of salt. Um, like, why is the sky blue? Oh, just have a half a teaspoon of salt. It just fucking said that for everything. And so I got to stop asking it. But then when I broke my fast this morning, it was worse than on day 3 and 4 of my fast because, and ChatGPT is, again, it said, oh, you're gonna have so much energy and feel great or whatever. Dude, I had that first meal and I had like a vegetable soup, so it was easy on my digestive system and everything. I felt so fucking depressed and like
Really?
so like I just wanted to go sleep. Oh, it was hectic. It was like, it was worse than the fast, actually. It was like, oh my gosh. And then also my brain went into, because I went into the store, the house store, and I bought 2 bottles of kimchi. Now I went in and I bought the one bottle and I saw it had chili, and so I went and bought another bottle. But then I left that bottle there. I bought it and I just left it on the counter and I went out. And then like I'm getting in my car about leaving. I'm like, oh, I didn't. So I had to go back and get the kimchi. Then I drove to go get some avocados because it said if I want to break my fast, we got to have like avocados like 30, 40 minutes after the soup. So I go drive to the shop next door, like it was about 100 meters away. Get the avos, get back in the get the avos, walk out of the shop, and then walk all the way back to the house store because I still think my car's there.
Oh shit! So you got a bit of brain fog.
I thought I was going insane.
Shit. Okay.
And yeah,
And then you landed. So then, obviously, what lunch did you have?
but then, dude, the hunger came on. Like I had the soup, I had the
Yeah.
avos, and I just couldn't stop eating. And it
Okay.
was saying like everything I was reading says break your fast. You must do it very slowly and gradually with soft foods and
Okay.
steamed vegetables and fucking whatever. Dude, and it says like have a little bit. It said half an avo. You know, it
Yeah.
said have the soup. 60 minutes later, have half an avo, dude. I ate 2 avos. I was so fucking hungry. I couldn't stop. Then it said like you have to wait 3 to 4 hours to have the vegetables, the steamed vegetables. Dude, I was just sitting there, like I've just fasted for 10 days. I have the
You-
willpower to just stop myself and just be like, I'm not going to eat for 10 days. But now
Yeah.
I couldn't make it from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock or whatever. I could not. It was just too, and it was too hectic for me. I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't think. I was just like, all I wanted was those
So
vegetables.
you basically ate 10 days worth of food in 2 hours.
So I ate the fucking vegetables, and I was on the cheese, and I was like, I just was just going crazy, and I couldn't stop. I couldn't get full, and but the problem was I was just getting more tired. I was boiling eggs, the amount of cheese I ate, and I just was getting tighter and tighter to the point, like I thought, oh my God, I can't even pick my daughter up from school. I'm so fucking tired. I need to just go and lie down. But I pulled through and I got my daughter, and now I'm feeling great. Now I'm feeling fine. But
No, but hold on, hold on, hold on. So now you had after you left your daughter, there was a story you told me that you
what?
had some
Oh yeah.
you had some heavy bowel
I,
movements. You shat
oh
yourself.
my gosh, jeez, dude, no, I didn't. I almost shat myself. I was on the beach with my daughter, and like I had to get her some food before, because her mother's always like, "You better feed her before she comes home." So like we get to this restaurant, but on the way to the restaurant, I get these stomach cramps. Dude. I've got these cramps, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I get to the
Like diarrhea cramps.
the yeah, like yeah,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
and I get to the
Yeah.
restaurants, and I order the quickest thing. I'm just like, just give me a margarita pizza. I put the thing down, fucking ran to the toilet, and I just shat
Shat
myself
yourself.
like. Well, I don't shit my pants, but I just shat like I've never shat before. But it was in the toilet, not in my pants. Get that clear.
Okay.
And then,
I believe you.
um, yeah. So
Jeez. Okay. So now, okay. So you reckon? So I do intermittent fasting. So every day I fast until around about. Look, a Friday's a bit different because we have a bit of a cheat day, but every day up until 5 o'clock when I get home, and then I eat from 5 to 9, and then I don't eat again until 5 o'clock the next afternoon. So that's my continuous cycle. Okay, so I only eat for 4 to 5 hours, and then I stop eating. But I'm used to that. But I don't know. I don't know if I could do. My wife did a 7 day once before, and she struggled there. So
yeah,
I'm a little
I
bit
mean
scared to do it. But
the
so the
first
first,
few
especially the
ones.
first couple of days, we're just hungry, dude. You just want fucking chow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not bad. I mean, the first few I actually the first few 7 day ones it was a bit hectic. The thing is also like I mean the first 7 day one I was so scared because like I didn't know what my body was going to do. I was actually scared to drive because I thought, what if I pass out and I have an accident? And especially when I had my daughter in the car, I was like, geez, this is irresponsible. And I haven't eaten for like 4 days, and I got my daughter in the car. What if I pass out? Then I have a job and I have to go on set for 3 days. Geez, that was the worst because now I'm on set and there's catering. You get a breakfast and a lunch, and
Yeah.
then like they've got like every 3 hours they bring out like craft and like snacks and like sandwiches and stuff. So I got my assistants like running up to me with all the cool stuff from the snack thing, like nuts and like chips and fucking biltong or whatever, or like a chicken mayonnaise sandwich. And I'm just like, no, 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 I don't want to eat that. I don't want to eat that because I don't want to tell people I'm fasting because I feel it's irresponsible. Well, then I also feel like, oh, I better tell them I'm fasting because that's also irresponsible. Because if I just put keel over and pass out on this job, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck's wrong with this guy?" And I'll tell them, I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I was fasting," and they're like, "Geez, well, we hiring you, and like you fucking don't tell us, like, what the fuck?" So it's like it's catch 22. And I was like, I don't want to. But then at lunchtime, I'm just sitting there like, I don't go to lunch because I don't want to sit there and like everyone's like, "Why aren't you fucking eating?" So like I kind of just hide away everybody, and then they come back and they're like, "Geez, where were you at lunch or whatever?" I'm like, "No, no, I had a important call." Get something later. I'll go craft table and get something. So, but I see now, so that was interesting because also I didn't think I was going to manage it like mentally because like, but the thing is when your brain switches to ketosis, I think it's ketosis, it's like you're running on like a very high, you've gone from like diesel to methane, like like jet fuel, like your brain's like it's supposed to be running like at a very clear, better mode than
Okay.
what when you're eating food and your brain it's kind of like you're running on diesel, like but then when you're in ketosis, your brain's supposed to be sharper, clearer, and all of that.
Okay.
So, but that was a thing for me like this time because I was also on set, but I actually managed. I didn't have any too much brain fog, and I was a bit. I always felt self-conscious. I was thinking, geez, am I actually like? Do people notice that I'm a bit different or weird or talking something or? Because I'd also sometimes feel like I'm repeating myself or yeah, it was a bit weird like that.
Okay.
But actually, I was working, and I was always worried about working. I was driving, and nothing really was that difficult this time
Okay.
around. It was
So
all like,
so what are you gonna try 20 days?
yeah, well, that's my next. But the thing, is that when I first started fasting, right, it was like that Christian friend of mine that we sometimes talk about, she said that she did a 7-day fast and God spoke to her, right? And I thought, fuck it, I want God to speak to me. I'm gonna do a 7-day fast. But then I also thought, like, well, maybe you were just about to die. So that's probably why, you thought God was speaking to you. It's like maybe
Just
you
subconscious. Hey, fuck, feed me.
yeah, it's like you're almost dead. So, but anyway, I tried it. I was like, fuck it, I want God to speak to me. So I did the 7-day fast. God fucking didn't say a word to me. I just was fucking irritated and angry and
He's just
like
laughing at,
depressed.
check this out.
So, yeah, there's all those health benefits, but there's supposed to be all these spiritual benefits, and it's like, so like I want to experience this. I mean, the dreams were like quite interesting, like I say, but like also people say you get answers for like stuff that you've been going through or whatever, that you get life answers and that you have more spiritual awareness. And I don't feel any of that. That's why I came out of it a bit like upset because I was thinking,
Disappointed.
I was just like, what actually was the point of that? Except for maybe the health benefits. But like, do I really feel the health benefits? Because I'm eating now and I feel like shit.
Mm.
So I actually do kind of feel like, I mean, look, the thing is, I do feel like I've done a really big achievement of something, and I've exercised my willpower. So like I know my willpower, like I can do that. I can do anything if I put my mind to it, and it's determination. So it's
Yeah.
probably like an exercise in your willpower and your determination, and to see like how you're capable of when um of your willpower.
Yeah.
And then what else? And also learned that the food is just completely a thing to fill a gap in a hole in me that's
Yeah, gap filler.
obviously like I have obviously some kind of depression that I need to fill with something, and I'm using food as that.
Yeah.
And so those are the only two things I kind of learned.
Okay. But so you
Yeah.
didn't have any, you didn't have any kind of spiritual thoughts, nothing, eh?
No, and also I meditated a lot more, and I did yoga asanas every day, like yoga poses, and breath work. I did breath work twice a day, every day. I meditated like also the thing is when I um couldn't sleep, when I woke up, after the 2 hours of sleeping, I would meditate every single time because that's the only thing that would get me back to bed, was to do
Yeah.
half an hour of meditation. So I was meditating like 3, 4 times a day, plus doing the breath work, plus doing the asanas, plus doing the cold plunges for the first 4 days and the ninth day.
Mm.
And doing also the chanting. I was doing a few pranayamas, alternative
Yeah.
nostril breathing. So I was really going balls to the wall because they said, like, during this process, it's a spiritual kind of thing. You need to concentrate on spiritual things. So I was doing that. I mean, also they say you should journal. I should have maybe journaled. Maybe I would have learned more, but about myself. But also I did more Rosicrucian studies than I've done ever before in 1 week.
Yeah.
I went to Rosicrucian temple last night even. And yeah, I didn't see
The
anything
longest, yeah,
maybe
but
I've got to do 4, or maybe I've got to do 20 days. Maybe I've got to do
maybe.
it, like when you're actually on the verge of dying and then you have the spiritual experience.
Yeah,
Because like Buddha, that's
maybe.
what Buddha, because Buddha, he sat under that Bodhi tree for 40
Yeah,
days and 40
but he
nights.
didn't eat. He didn't eat when he started experiencing that thing. I don't think he hadn't eaten for 40 days.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you
the
know what the
thing.
longest fasting is? Do you know what the longest fast has
What
been
is
to
it?
date? 382 days.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
because I know,
Scottish oak.
but there is a phenomenon where people don't have to eat and they actually never get skinny or anything. There's some kind of like energy they get from the sun. Or there's a whole yoga kind of practice where there's like you got to do sunbathing and all of this weird stuff, and you don't actually have to eat, and
But
you
then
totally
what's the
sustain.
point of us eating then? I mean, if we can survive on water and so water alone, why eat? What's the plan?
Yeah, also because I also heard a lady, she ate oranges for 1,000 days. She had
Mm.
this terrible disease and she couldn't get rid of it, so she just said, "Fuck it, I'm just eating oranges, 1,000 days." And that she got completely cured of all ailments. But that's also what prolonged fasting does. It heals cancer. It like whatever kind of really bad disease you're going through, you
Yeah.
just do like a 60-day 40-day fast, and you get rid of that stuff because your body just eats it all away. But
Okay.
the thing about Buddha, because I always thought the meditation was the thing that enlightened him. Because he sat under the Bodhi tree doing Vipassana
Mm.
meditation. And I've done Vipassana for I did it for maybe a year and a half, like every day, twice a day, every year,
And
every
nothing
day.
happened.
Yeah, I mean, there was certain things like when I get to certain parts of my body, I would feel twitching and then I would get all these emotions and stuff. So it's obviously good for relieving trauma or whatever. But um, so he sat under the Bodhi tree for 40 days and 40 nights. And I think what enlightened him was because he fucking never ate. So I
Yeah,
mean, if you're gonna not eat
you're
for
probably
40
right,
days
dude.
and 40 nights, you're gonna have some kind of, you're gonna
Yeah.
go into some kind of delusional
But
fucking.
not even delusional. I mean, you said you were clear of state, you were clear of mind. So I think Jesus did the same. Jesus did 40 days and 40 nights out in the desert. He
Yeah,
also
but I mean, if you're
fasted.
close to death, you're gonna come up with something.
But I mean, if guys can go,
Yeah,
if a guys can go for 382 days, how close to death are you really?
yeah, sure. So I think that's the step. If you want to become enlightened, you just got to not eat for 40 days and do the
Maybe,
Vipassana meditation.
yeah, the thoughts and ideas of this podcast are not sponsored by.
Yeah, we don't endorse any of that. We didn't tell you
This
to
is just our
fucking fast for
opinions.
40
Please
days.
don't, yeah,
If
don't
you
go
fast
fast
for
for
40
us.
days, it's your own stupid thing. We didn't say to go do that now.
Yeah, please. This is it's just opinions and we're discussing. Okay, so if you gotta go do that stuff, it's on you. Yeah, cool. No, but awesome, man.
No.
Thank you for your 10 days. Your next one now, I think maybe at the end of the year. Or when you're not busy, do a 20-day. See what happens.
Yeah, I think that's the way. Yeah.
Tell me what happens in 20 days. And then
Yeah.
if something like really major happens, then I'll follow. I'll also do a 20-day.
Okay, cool.
I'll go straight to 20. I won't do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. I'll go straight to 20. Boom. I'll probably lose about 20 kilos.
Yeah, geez, I lost a lot of weight. So actually, I didn't weigh myself, but my stomach. Even my daughter, we were swimming, and she looks at my stomach, and because she used to always put her head on my stomach and go, "Oh, it's so cute, so cute." And now she's like, "It's your stomach."
Well, that's good because surfboard, you got a surfboard abs.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
awesome, man.
Okay, cool.
No, well,
Sweetly.
yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for that. And thank you again for your time. And thank you
Yeah, thanks
for
for Byrd.
everybody. Yeah, thank you for everybody listening to us again. And yeah, join us again next week for our next episode. And
Yeah, and like and subscribe.
yeah, like,
I feel
subscribe,
so lame saying
subscribe.
that, but yeah, fuck it. If you got it this far, you got to do it, man.
Yeah, 100%. That cool. Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
Okay.
Will. Chat soon.
Thanks, Lee. Cheers, dude.
Cheers, buddy.